Alrighty, woofing. I'm going to talk about it because I didn't really finish up what I was trying to tell everybody about. I made one video talking about my first week out there at Kapuka with Rashani, and I kind of left it at that. I didn't really say anything more, and I went for months without talking about woofing really on YouTube. So today I am going to talk about Kipuka Malahia and the whole 2-month stint I had over there. So basically I was a woofer and I was doing 20 hours a week for $80 a month, staying at the sanctuary called Kipuka Malahia. But it ended up being like $300 a month the next month and 15 hours a week. And we just kind of worked deals back and forth, trying to negotiate what was going on in terms of the work that I was giving her. So I think that for anybody who's interested in woofing, you need to be really clear, first of all, with your woofing host about how much work they're really actually expecting and whether or not you can actually deliver that. So clarity and clear communication is super important, I think, if anybody out there is thinking about woofing. Secondly, it's good to have funds coming into while you are woofing. For me, I needed to get help from my family to pay for groceries because this farm asked for $80 a month, as well as you needing to provide your own food. And I know a lot of woofing farms out there don't actually do that. They provide food and a bed for you to sleep in, and they don't ask for any money. But that wasn't the case here because this was more of a sanctuary than it was a farm. So be clear about how you're going to finance yourself too. It's not fun, you know, like stressing out at the grocery store, trying to figure out where you're gonna get your lunch from. So other than that, I mean, the whole adventure in Hawaii has been really wonderful and really eye-opening and very introspective for me. And I think that that's sort of the nature of what woofing does for people, is it really brings them back to the land, and it brings them back to themselves, and it brings them back to each other. And that's a really important part, I think, of this whole push to have more of a sustainable life. It's more, you know, sustainable for the earth, it's sustainable for your relationships, it's more sustainable for your relationship to yourself. And that was one of the greatest things that I took away from my experience, was becoming more in tune and aware of those needs for myself, as well as, you know, the needs of others around me as well. Being more mindful and being more aware of not only myself as a human being, but myself as being a part of a community too. You know, taking care of animals and plants, you have to be ever vigilant and very aware of the needs of them too, because they are a part of yourself too. You're living around them, and from an ecological perspective, I mean, we're all part of the same ecosystem, and we're a part of the same family, so to speak. So making sure that everybody else's needs are taken care of as well. I was also going to say something. Yeah. In terms of relationships with the other people too, I mean, that brings to the table a lot of training and thought about kindness. Not being nice, per se. Like, niceties are not really something that I appreciate. I would rather have somebody be kind and tell me truth and tell me things straight rather than try and be nice about something, you know? So, showing kindness to the other people around you is part of being a part of this ecosystem, this unit on this piece of land. Making sure that you're speaking clearly and communicating your needs with others, and making sure that there is fair trade going on. So say, like for me, this was an example from my life. And a real thing that happened between somebody and myself. So we had decided to trade. Like, she was going to pay for my food stamp, not my food stamp, her food stamp. She was going to pay for my groceries, and we were going to trade, and I was going to buy her food at the farmer's market. So we were going to work out a deal there. So a couple weeks went by, and she didn't ever tell me